Joining us on Pirate Radio Live, talk some Pirate baseball, some hoops, and who knows what else. Danny Beal is here. Danny, how you doing, man?
Doing good, Clipper. What's going on?
Pirates coming off a win, a couple of wins here, and trying to continue on a solid week after a backbreaker last week. Danny, we've talked to you about how long the baseball season is, but two walk-offs in the same week that gets the fans down certainly, and to a degree, I'm sure the team. But you just got to move on, right? How about bouncing back from last week?
Yeah, walk-offs are never fun. Luckily, I didn't have to be a part of a ton of them. When they did happen, it was pretty demoralizing, but being able to bounce back and play the way they have has been really impressive and fun to watch.
Seems like we're talking a lot about adversity with this team and injuries, especially with the starting pitching, the weekend rotation. It just puts a stress on everything. Luke Payne, the starter, announced yesterday, and Jarrett and I kind of look at each other like, "Huh, all right, well, we'll see where this goes." And Pirates able to overcome, next man up, all that mentality. What did you think of his performance and the Pirates winning last night?
It kind of reminded me of almost like a conference tournament-esque start where you're down a lot of arms, guys are tired. The weather's getting hot, and it was a situation where somebody needed to step up, especially on a short week with Easter and stuff. And to be able to get that kind of work out of that was really impressive. Obviously, I know they had Gavin warming up earlier in the game and extending, I think the lead there was huge. So you
Yeah,
could keep Luke in and not have to go to the pen early, and he did a great job. And again, it just goes to show how if they can show up consistently, they're one of the best teams in the conference, nonetheless, the country. So it's about showing up today. I know they obviously won yesterday, but being able to show up today um, is just as important as the win last night. So
yeah. And Danny, I said last week to Mully, we were talking about the Braves and the Pirates, and they both right now have injury issues with pitchers. And from a Braves standpoint, I said, you've got Acuna and Riley and Olson and Albies. Let's score 8 to 10 runs and not, and who cares? Let's outscore teams. And, say the same about the Pirates. A pitcher's best friend is those monster innings, those big innings offensively. So kudos to the offense too, right? They got to do their part while we're trying to get healthy pitching wise.
yeah, watching the Red Sox right now is actually painful because that offense is not really built to score a ton of runs, and the pitching is supposed to be what keeps them in games. And they've been getting down early, and they're not built to do that. So being able to watch a team that has a good offense and has good pitching, even if they are a tick injured right now, like it's fun to see them pick up the slack a little bit. And knowing when they have Norby on the mound, it doesn't mean they take their foot off the gas, knowing that they're going to get a good start. Um, it kind of reminds me of our last year when we would have Trey and Root going, and at times, I think, admittedly, as a team, we would know that, like, hey, like Trey's probably going to go six,
Right.
1 or 2 earned, maybe punch the house out, and it's like, all right, well, we don't have to score 10 to win today, right? But I think them being able to show up consistently every day, as I mentioned, is important. Knowing that it doesn't really, but you could have Tom Glavine on the mound. Like, you need to still show up and score a ton of runs, especially in the parity of that conference right now. I mean, it's going to take everything to win and get in and hopefully play well down the stretch.
Yeah, talked to Coach O, the great Gary Overton, yesterday on the show. Was looking at some numbers. Pirates going into last night, 44 in the RPI, which isn't bad at all. And with all the midweek games you have coming up, and teams like UAB having a good RPI right now. UTSA's got a pretty good one. You've got a lot of opportunities to make that number even better. So their Pirates, the record might not be exactly what you want it to be, but still in a decent spot here. They just got to take care of their business.
Yeah, I mean, they're gritty, as you can tell. I mean, they've beaten, whether you think UAB is a good team or not. I mean, RPI says a lot, even if people don't necessarily know how it works, like understand it. But I mean, they've beaten good teams, and I think it's not of years past where we're just going to roll the balls out and dominate. And I don't
Yeah,
think that's because we've gotten worse. I think other teams have gotten better with the portal and stuff, being able to buy players and especially like teams in Texas and stuff where you get like the Texas A&M, Texas bounce backs, teams like in Alabama, like with UAB, where you get Auburn, Alabama guys that
right.
transfer. Like teams just will get better now. And again, I don't think it's that we've gotten worse. We're still the best team in that conference. I don't even think it's really close. But it's just again, I've said it a couple times, like it's just showing up every day and being consistent because that's kind of like the Achilles heel. It seems like from what Coach Godwin is saying it's tough showing up every day. But again, there's no doubt in my mind that when the weather gets out or better and school gets out, they'll play their best baseball.
Danny Beal joining us. Danny, we've seen a Burley bomb. We've seen Norby go to work, and we saw Gavin Williams throw a gem in Dodger Stadium the other night. How about that performance by the big rig, going 7 innings, no runs, 10 Ks against the freaking Dodgers?
Yeah, that was insane. I was here at the field, as you guys can. I'll try to show you.
Nice.
I was at the field because Clemson and Wake were playing here. So I got to say hey to Coach Walter and Coach Bakich before the game. But so I didn't really get to watch it in real time. But I got back, and one of my good high school friends who's a Dodgers fan was texting me. He's like, Gavin's throwing really well, and I thought he was being sarcastic and that the Dodgers were like just lighting him up. And I went and
Yeah.
looked. I was like, wow. So I texted Gavin and I was like, dude, that was pretty good. He was like, yeah, that was fun. So it was so much. I went and watched it back just to like take it all in because I mean that's a really good lineup that he shut down, and his off speed stuff was really really good. And that's I mean it goes to show what his potential and his ceiling is. Like, dude, he could be one of the best pitchers, nonetheless in that division, but in the AL if he's consistent enough and stays healthy. So it was a ton of fun to watch as it has been with all the other guys as well this season.
Danny, as hard as you work on your craft as a pitcher, you want your strikes to be called strikes. But at the same time, if you miss by a quarter of an inch, you want that call too. So, with all that being said, how do you feel about the ABS? Are you for, against it? Do you still have questions about it? What do you think?
I think it's funny, honestly. Like, I think it is comical to me, like when a hitter or pitcher will challenge it, and it's like, it has like the less than sign, less than an inch off, and the umpire's like, "Come on, dude! Like, yeah, my bad for not calling that a strike or ball, right?" It's like we're splitting hairs here, but I mean, I think it's good, but I also think it adds another layer and another wrinkle of strategy into it on teaching players and coaches, not necessarily coaches, because coaches can't do it, but teaching players when to use it,
Yeah.
good time, bad time.
Because
Because
we've seen some
again,
emotional challenges already,
yeah,
like, and you
yeah,
gotta calm yourself almost.
exactly. You can get down 0-2 and be pissed as a hitter, and then another like a borderline strike, and you just tap your head, and it's the second inning with nobody on with one out, and it's like, why are you doing that? And again, not to bring it back to the Red Sox, but that's another thing that they've done really, really bad this season is time and place with that stuff and being able to like control your emotions and know when to use it. So I like it because again, it adds another bit of strategy but it is really funny. Like even the other day with the Orioles game when they got that game ended on it, that was really funny. So it's been fun to watch.
I didn't think about how dramatic it would be too, because everybody sees it at the same time. The hitter, the pitcher, but more importantly, the fans. So it's like there's kind of a silence in the stadium, and then they show it on the big screen, and there's either a loud cheer or a boo or a awe or whatever. So it adds a little drama to the game as well.
And it's so quick too. If it took
Yeah.
like 30 seconds, no, it takes like 5 seconds. You have to decide quick if you want to challenge it or not. Um, But like we were joking about it the other day in one of our like alumni group chats. Like, could you imagine if we had that in college and we were playing? Like, it would be an easy way to just get your butt ripped by Coach Godwin. But it
Yeah.
would just be so funny of like guys using it in certain moments and being able to joke about it and talk about it afterwards. It's funny.
Danny Beal joining us today on Pirate Radio Live. Danny, how is your bracket? Do you have a chance to win your pool?
It was looking in really good shape up until UConn won. I would have had all four in the final four right if Duke had won.
Wow.
They were my national champion, which was tough. There's still a chance to win our baseball one. Me and Star at the top right now. I think I have to have Illinois, an Illinois Michigan national championship in Illinois to win it for me to win. Um, so that's not out of the question. I saw it was the first time I saw a stat on Twitter. It was like the first time in like 15, 16, 20 years, something like that, that both of the final four games are under 2.5 points on the spread.
Yeah, that's
So we're
cool.
bound to have some good games. It'll be fun to watch. This is for all the people that didn't like the fact that there were no Cinderellas. Like you're gonna watch good basketball, so it'll be fun.
True. And it's a great reminder, too, that just because you don't have that huge upset week one, that the madness is not just about that. It's about Duke throwing it away and a guy hitting a bomb three like that. That was so much fun on Sunday. to see that. And yeah, man, Michigan, Arizona, really excited about that. And as you said, both spreads, 1.5. UConn, Illinois, same thing. So going to be a lot of fun. Then we get to the Masters. DB, do you have any picks for us? Anything you like for next week?
One thing I will say, going back to the UConn game
All right.
real quick, I was at the Celtics game when they were playing the Hornets in Charlotte, and that was on Sunday during the Duke game. And halftime was right during that like 4 minute stretch where UConn went on a run. And you would imagine a lot of UConn fans, they're playing the Celtics, and they had it up on the big board. And he hit the shot, and it was so much fun to just watch everybody go absolutely bananas, like betters, fans, whatever it was. It was very funny. Um, but with the Masters, no, I mean I would like to. I wish there was a way if you were like if you were to bet on the Masters, a way to have Oberg leading after Saturday because he's so good. He just finds a way to choke it away every day or every time when they get to the final day on Sunday. But
You can
I think
probably find that,
you would
but you
think,
you
right?
you like okay. That I'll see if I can find something like that. But
I like Oberg to like whether it's going into the weekend or leading after moving day or top five even because
okay.
he's got the talent. He just does not find a way to be able to like just nut up on Sunday. It's fascinating to me. Um, but no, I mean you could always go chalky and go Scotty too because he's always going to be in the mix. My one thing that I've watched some guys do is whether it's the last couple weekends or even last year where Scotty's like 15th to 20th is live betting him to go top 10.
Right.
Seen a few guys do that and make some good money off that on Twitter and stuff. So I I, I would say Oberg and Scotty, but you can it's Augusta. Anything can happen.
I haven't even looked at how much of a overwhelming favorite
Yeah,
Scotty
I
is
have
at
no
this
idea.
point, but I'll have to check that out. You mentioned NBA Hornets, good win last night against the Suns. Got the Pacers. They're trying to get the best possible seeding for them, which will likely be in the play-in. How about the Celtics with Tatum's return? I know last time we talked, you were very excited. How have they done since the return of Tatum?
They've been a wagon. I mean, they scored like 54 points or 53 points in the
The
first
first
quarter
quarter.
against Miami the other day. Like
Yeah.
JB had 40, like Tatum looks good. They're all healthy now. I mean, I was worried there for a while when they were playing Jalen Brown through his like Achilles tendonitis because with all the stuff that's happened in the last few years, I'm like, just sit him until the first round. I don't even care. But no, they've looked great. The role players are doing their job. Like Sam Hauser and Peyton Pritchard are playing like freaking all stars right now. Um, but it is. I think if I looked yesterday, if the season had ended yesterday, it would have been Charlotte at Toronto, and then the winner
Yeah.
of that would have went on to play the Celtics in the first round. So it's going to come down to it. I'm in now that the Celtics have clinched. Not that they weren't going to be in, but I'm in full hockey mode right now. I'm
Okay.
trying to see. I'm hoping that Bruins lost last night, unfortunately, but hoping that they can get the last division spot. They're 4 points behind Montreal after last night, so hopefully they can make a push. Dad and I are going to the Hurricanes game. They play the Bruins in Raleigh on Tuesday, so that'll be fun.
I was going to say potential for like Bruins, Canes, and
Yep.
Celtics Hornets that Danny could be attend
Yeah,
as the
it's a
away
10
fan.
with let me take out a loan for that, but yeah, we'll see.
Good point. Good point. All right, Danny Beal joining us. Danny got an NFL draft later this month. Trying to hit all the sports here. Anything else going on you're following in the sports world?
Seen a lot of Vrabel clips from the coaches' meetings and him like just blocking offensive linemen like he's a psychopath, but I love
Yeah.
it. I mean, yeah, it's fun to watch with that stuff. You mentioned the Red Sox and how annoying they've been. I know they play in like an hour and a half, and hopefully they can turn it around. That's been really frustrating to watch, but it's the life of being a Red Sox fan. John Henry needs to sell the team, but whatever. Neither here nor there. I digress.
And you doing your training, Danny? Training pitchers of tomorrow.
Yeah. We're fully in that. Like I said, me, Garrett Saylor, and Patty McGonigal was the guy that pitched in Division One as well with BG. We're still doing that and going strong right now. So if you guys are interested, please do whatever you can to reach out, and we'll get you going. But no, ready to go. Baseball's rolling. Knights are playing well. We're all good.
All right, Danny. Thanks for joining us, man. We'll keep in touch. Do it again soon.
See you guys.